it's Rare Adam who's playing the dive here. They want to be within range. Their only real semblance of range is the Zask. But even that is mid-range. You're looking at Falcons. I think they rope-a-doped Rare Adam. They were saying, all right, look, we're dive 2. Psych, we got a Matilda. Psych, we can just disengage and make you play out of breath. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 is upon us. Into the land of Dawn we go. It's been a hot minute since we've seen Jungle Guinevere. This was not in the dossier. This was not in the scouting report, Abstract.
I don't know what to expect coming in with Jungle Guinevere, and regarding speed as well. As much as possible, we know that when it comes down to the early game, Gwyn does, of course, provide quite a bit of that control when it comes down to the spatial migration, but it is still a skill shot after all. If you're able to kind of land it on top of the Violet Raccoon, that's going to be fine and great, but you can play it along with Juicing, so I think that's still pretty okay.
And looking at the way Boyet's rocking it, he's rocking Thrill, he's on that Mage emblem, and then he's got Impure Rage. So his build, the rest of the next 5-6 minutes, will dictate how they make this Jungle Guinevere work, because that definitely was something out of left field. Looking at that gold lane matchup, again, it is skill intensive. In mid though, Paufu's not having a great time.
It does seem like there is quite a bit of things going on in the middle lane. Cat9 is not necessarily here to really help with the wave clear, but it's okay. Lanaya is just going to be jumping himself right over the Troll and almost getting the kill down on Matilda, but just a little bit left.
Troll walks away, does spend the flicker, but the fact is he's not dead. At best, that's a technical knockout for Rare Adam. Does pull out a major resource for Team Falcons. It's going to be a tough turtle take coming up. Down bottom though, Boyet. Give it a little something to Dawn. In comes Cat9.
And it does seem like Dawn is just going to be stuck in there, but it's not going to be a problem. He is a pretty tanky Uranus after all. While Lanaya joins in the fray, Sanji flickers away, and they're going to be all fine.
The Chinese squad here throwing out everything from mid to bottom, making sure that they don't really give much. Oh, here we go. Boy catches one.
We do have the Purify, so he's going to be fine. He's not at level 4 just yet. Well, in the meantime, Troll is not necessarily there too, but we do have the turtle currently available down in the bottom lane with Lanaya taking up the turtle pretty easily. No contest whatsoever. With Sanji now joins in the fray. We do have the fifth break as well, and Violet Raccoon just going to be knocking right onto Powerful before he even manages to do anything.
This isn't how you want to play the Zask. Usually when you pick up the Zask, you want to have your Dominer's Descent, that big Johnny, play as an extra life for you. But no, since minute 0, Team Falcons have been on Powerful. So I'd say this is a half win for Adam. It's definitely a big win to get the turtle, but if the rest of the map, what you've been doing, how much pressure you've been putting on Team Falcons, only results in a 200 gold lead, plus the turtle. Mind you, they took the turtle. I think they could ask for more. They want more.
I think that what's really lacking is the fact that the middle lane is not getting that lane priority that we want, right? The Zask entered the team fight at level 3, so he's definitely lacking in XP as compared to Cuffin, which is already well on his way to level 6.
Yep, I think this is exactly why Team Falcons put Cuffin on the Zushin, even if it is not exactly his identity, and Zushin has been, teetering in and out of the metagame. They just needed someone who could provide the pressure early on, and look at this, he's now on to Mikey. Even Mikey, after Powerful in mid, Mikey might be up next.
I mean, definitely gonna worry for them a tad little bit. But with the amount of aggression from Team Falcons, they're moving around a lot. So it's kind of tough for them to be able to do anything, at least for Rare Adam, right? I want to see them being aggressive with the Baxia and all, but with the fact that they're not winning middle lane, they don't really have much influence over to the side lanes.
Yep, so that might be the one reason why Team Falcons is staying within Gold's reach. And check it out, it swings now. Suddenly, Team Falcons up by 200, 300 gold as the turtle spawns down bottom, already Nalaya in position. The rest of Rare Adam, their mid trio, following through. While the rest of Falcons are just about to rotate. I don't think Boyet's going to let this swing once more over to Rare Adam's favor. They catch Cat9.
And now, of course, the Violet Raccoon is just going to be landing right on top of Cat9. It doesn't seem like he has a lot of HP to work with on the fifth crack. Takes him down. Cuffin takes the final hit on top of him. Well, Dawn, he does have a vengeance, but he's not going to get away. As Troll takes out the final one, well, Boyet continues on over to Lanaya, hoping to get a final hit in, but it's not going to do it. Never mind. Troll picks up the double.
My God, they got on Kakashi like it was Satoru Gojo. Team Falcons now deep into the pit. This is a turtle that they fought for a good, minute? And then now it's theirs. Team Falcons, wow, what a win down bottom.
At this point, not a single kill for Rare Adam. So, what exactly should Rare Adam be doing at this point in time to kind of switch things up a bit?
Yeah, I think Rare Adam have to make the call now. Are we the beatdown, or are we gonna have to play for Mikey? I think that's a silver lining to this whole situation of them being down about 2,000 gold, down a turtle in the mid game of the early laning phase. I'd say decide now. Are we playing for Mikey, or can we still fight? Can we put a lot of pressure on Powfu to maybe shut down Troll, weirdly enough, shut down Coffin, because these two utilities in mid are not going down. Team Falcons are having the time of their life.
Got caught with a Violent Requiem once again, but he does have quite a lot of regeneration going on for him as he sets up the consecration, pushing Sanji all the way to the T1.
Yep, there's a whole lot of nothing going on there, especially since between the two of Team Falcons, no one had anti-heal just yet. Shadow set up by Lanaya, Cat9 getting pushed out of that lane. In comes Coffin with the ult.
Very relentless, really wanted to do something over to Cat9, forced to revitalize off of him and quickly backed off straight afterwards.
Okay, so Rare Adam, so far we know that they've committed to this dive mindset of their comp, because look, a Vengeance and Dawn, revitalize on Cat9. Oh, and man, Coffin did not expect that, but the fight continues up top.
That's gonna be great. 1 point over to the side of Rare Adam, and now they need to defend the top lane as much as possible. The T1 is almost at the brink of death, and now it's completely destroyed. We do have Dawn though, wanting to kind of proxy the lane a little bit to look for Sano, which was last seen pretty wounded, but it's gonna be safe and sound for now.
Oh, he's not done, man. He's pushing well into the orange, a lot of pressure. Boyet will still confirm. Oh, the Circling Eagle.
He's just going to be putting himself onto Dawn. We don't have the Violent Requiem just yet, but he's soaking a lot. Uranus is just being an absolute menace while we allowed Lanaya to make all the way down to the opposite side of the map to pick up a T1 turret.
Bring up a Thesaurus. He's a nuisance. He is literally everywhere Falcons don't want him to be. Final turtle spawning, upper quarter, a lot of pressure in mid. All 5 members of both squads here. It's Dawn, man. Dawn is the vanguard. Dawn is the front line. He's on to Boyet. Boyet forced to dash out.
He is definitely going to dashing out. So with that said, no more special migration, but he can still pop someone up with the Violent Requiem. Everyone, all hands on deck onto Dawn, brings him down effectively. That is a 1v4 fight while the Naya focuses onto the turtle. Rare Adam is just looking for objectives.
Thank you for your service. An XP laner for the turtle at that point in the game, especially since there's no other casualties, is well worth it. I think that's what's keeping Rare Adam within an arm's length of a Team Falcons gold lead. Let's check out the in-game build right now. So this is confirmed to be a utility tank build Guinevere. I got a friend of mine watching back home. You might know him. He's such a fan of Guinevere. And I don't know if this is the right way to build it. I don't know if this is the new meta, but Boyet is making it work. Boyet hasn't died yet.
Not yet, yeah. 2:0:3. At this point in time, I thought that maybe they're lacking a little bit of damage, but I think that Troll is, as a Matilda, is pumping damage.
Yep, again, it's happening. What we said about Team Falcons weaving in and out, rope-a-doping Rare Adam, it's working. That's why we're sitting at 1-5, but in the early game, after that overextension, I think Rare Adam has understood that we can use Dawn now as a meat shield. We can overpower Team Falcons' collapse. Team Falcons, I think it's high time. I did not see the rest of their core. Is there anti-heal? There's no dominance ice on Boyet just yet. Is Sano building? Is he building a halberd? Oh wow, they're collapsing on a Lanaya.
Very resilient. They really want to get a kill down on Lanaya, only for Boyet to get caught after the single dash out of space of migration. Cuffin just going to be pulling himself right out of the guiding wind over to Troll. Team Falcons gathered together to ensure that they do not lose anymore.
Not like this. Team Falcons mistimed that, and Troll did not have the wings by wings to pull Boyet out. Rare Adam just welcomed him. Lanaya popped the shadow kill, and now Team Falcons have to recuperate. They have to regroup. Down bottom, a lot of pressure being put in by Rare Adam. Look at the map, man. It's slightly bluer than red.
It's really just about a seesaw game, right? Because right now, the economy is just slightly shifting over to Rare Adam. And as we take a look at the gold difference, we do have got a little bit more towards the side of Irithel and the Hayabusa.
Yeah, the money's on the wrong places for Team Falcons. So now they have to find a way to get it back onto Sano. If anything, I'll tell you now, it's all on Sano. Sano is the one true core for Team Falcons, and I wonder how this Lord fight's going to feed them. Cat 9 put down a half health. Dawn, once again, the front liner. Coffin just can't get a grasp.
Absolutely beefy guy. At this point, he's not even afraid of the lantern flare from Coffin. I thought that as a Uranus, you would want to kind of be really careful because crowd control is going to be the bane of your existence.
No, but Dawn would actually like to be right smack dab in the middle of Falcons. Pop that Vengeance. This is one of the few times that it actually works. Oh, they're going ahead. Making that Lord sting a bit. Boyet got caught out of that Y brush. Cat 9 looking for targets. So far, Paufu hasn't really died in a while. Paufu was actually been taking care of himself. Pretty good artillery here. Dropping that little Johnny in that brush. Sanji at half health. This is a slow rolling Lord. I don't think Team Falcons would benefit this.
I don't think so either. I mean, Sanji is currently already down to half HP. If they really want to engage this, Sanji is essentially just going to be jumping in and losing his life in an instant just to land a fist break, fist crack combination.
This is a dance for the ages. Started out by the home team as Rare Adam answers back. Team Falcons, they're staying within the vicinity. I wonder if they want to give the orange buff to Sano first. But look, they're timing it well, Abstract. They're timing it well. They're waiting. Dawn now at half health. Won't be minding that. Oh, it might be a ploy. It's Mikey pushing.
The mid lane's going to get a slight push out. The bottom lane, we do have a slow push going in as well. So if Team Falcons doesn't have any very good ways to kind of play cross map, that is going to be a tad little bit of problem. But in the meantime, there is a higher boost on the side of Rare Adam. So this is all about a macro game for Rare Adam. The moment that they are able to pilot this game through, Team Falcons just going to be stuck with their back against the wall.
Yeah, we've been in this Lord pit for a hot minute now. Not much one on either side.
Feels like 5.
Yep, luckily, 10, make it 10. Luckily, Team Falcons did not lose that bottom lane tier 2. So they've been taking care of that wave at least by hook or by crook. And the Lord still standing. Looking at the items right now, a Sky Piercer currently and a Malefic Roar on Sano. All this while, the Trinity solid for Mikey. I wouldn't say that Mikey can wipe out though. I think Mikey still needs one more.
Not quite there yet. But we had the question about anti-heal. So at least Juicin does have the glowing wand.
Just Juicin though.
Only Juicin.
Just Coffin. I don't think that's enough.
So we don't even have the dominance eyes on the side of Sanji as of yet. But hold on a second, we do have 2% that's already down to lower than half HP from the side of Rare Adam, while the rest of Lanaya just going to be jumping over to the back line. Troll almost going down. As such, finally the first kill credited over to the side of Sanji with Mikey going down. It's a 1-for-1 trade between the gold laner and the rover. But Powerful is going to be the next one down for the count.
2 for 1. Rare Adam, their turn to overextend. Team Falcons, their patience and their better positioning. It was their jungle. It was their base. Their side of the map that Rare Adam crossed over led them to a winning trade. Mikey and Powerful for Troll. I'll take that trade any day. The Lord now approaching half health. Dawn, Cat 9, and Lanaya moving up. How did that bottom lane get pushed in? Wow, it's all wins for Falcons right now.
I thought that the slow push is actually in favor for Adam, but I'm wrong. At this point in time, we do have Dawn that is really wanting to do something about this, but Boyet will take the Lord for themselves. Rare Adam did not lose anyone from that fight, so that's fine. Team Falcons, they have the Lord, they're preparing themselves.
Oh my god, Coffin with the wormhole teleport. Did you see how far he was away? He was literally in the Y brush, buying time, keeping away 3 members of Rare Adam away from Falcons. As he popped the ult, dashed away, ended up on the other side of the river, and still lived. I'd give that MVP play over to Coffin. Coffin was one of the major reasons why Team Falcons is now owning the map.
What a zoning potential from Team Falcons. And now that the Lord is going to be marching in from the top lane, ready to pillage everything that Rare Adams have, this Lord advantage is going to bring Team Falcons quite the bank.
Yep. Although we are just looking at about 1,500 in gold for Team Falcons, best believe if they play the next minute very well, this could blow up into about a 2,000, 3,000 gold lead, even with Rare Adam defensively cleaning up. Look at this, Boyet going for that purple steal as well. And then the rest of the outer turrets taken down. Rare Adam left to their base.
I would definitely say that when it comes down to wave clear, Rare Adam might have a little bit of problems. So trying to take down this Lord and Excrete is going to prove to be tough. As such, T3 up in the top lane, destroyed already. And they're gonna have to focus on this before losing out even more.
You know what, Eugene, you could say the same for Team Falcons. These two teams have I don't want to say dismal wave clear, but on a scale of 1 to 5,
I'd give both of them
2.
2. Oh, okay.
Because there's at least a Irithel, and then there's at least a Granger, right?
Basically having a marksman, right?
Yeah, that's one of the few ways that they can defend. But right now, the truth of the matter is, the fact is, Rare Adam have to defend. Now, Dawn, very low.
Oh!
There we go, Sanji gets saved.
It's okay, they have the Matilda. The guiding wind will just yoink Sanji out of the turret's range, no problems whatsoever. But for now, we got a Battle Raccoon just going to be touched right in, and of course Sanji with the fist crack, but it's going to be a very non-committal play. As you mentioned, Team Falcons, they have a way to engage without being too committal at all.
Yep, and again, they are just waiting for one key point. They're waiting for their guy. They're waiting for Sano to say, it's go time, boys.
It's go time.
Let's go, Habibi. But he's not saying that just yet. I think they're waiting for this Lord to spawn, and then they'll make a play very similar to what happened in the upper quarter, wherein let's have Rare Adam overextend. Let's wait for them to play into Sano, and then we do one beneficial trade to another. Team Falcons now up by about 2,000 gold, almost 600 stacks onto Sano. He is the guy. Best believe, Eugene, if he dies, Team Falcons just stops.
It's gonna be tough for them to realistically be able to do anything without Sano, right? But with how the map is played out right now, Lord's gonna be at the southeastern part of the map, while the top lane is already completely broken out. So if they were to dance long enough, the top lane is just going to push out crazily, and this is essentially a free Lord for Team Falcons.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh my God, the catch!
That is going to be the length of flat, and will be able to connect on to Dawn, followed by the final Requiem, in enabling them to get a kill down over to Dawn. The next one on the chopping block is going to be Cat 9. With 3 members left from side of Rare Adam, Team Falcons will take this Lord.
This is as free as it gets. Team Falcons making a beeline, playing like the 5-man unit they have to be. Because again, if you are playing a single core lineup, there's no other way than Ube. So this is the Saudi Arabian Ube in action right now. Rare Adam, they have to defend. They have to hunker down and accept the fact that, okay, we can't let that happen again. Dawn, Cat 9, change of plans. And I'm not even sure if this plan is going to work, right? We have to stop throwing bodies. We have to be playing this a little safer. The bottom lane inhibitor falls.
They do have the tank ability, right? But they don't necessarily have all that damage to kind of return the favor over the side of Team Falcons. You can't make them, swallow the same medicine at this point. So, Random, what do they gotta have, and if whether Irithel is ready? It's got 4 items already, actually, with the final few hits with the Malefic Gun and the Wind of Nature. I would say the same over to the side of Sano, unless they want to kind of stack up a little bit onto the Sky Piercer.
Oh, wow. Okay, Rare Adam. They changed Mikey's boots here. I think this is key. Again, they could have just let it go. They could have just went 6 core items for Mikey, right?
Right.
But I think they understand now how dangerous this is for an Irithel to be in front of a Badang, in front of a Matilda, and in front of a, oh my lord, it's 4 CCs that he has to watch out for. I understand why he had to change. Now they're inside the base. All has fallen.
Yeah, all 3 of the inhibitors is going to be down. Sanji finds himself taken down because of the OG Shadow kill that Lanaya is throwing right into the face of Team Falcons. The Lord is going to be pushing in and trying to destroy every single one of these turrets that stand in his way. However, the damage from Rare Adam is going to be sufficient enough to bring this Lord down, and subsequently the creep waves.
All right, not like this. This is not how Team Falcons expected for that 3-lane push to happen, and they did not expect the surgical accuracy of Rare Adam to put all the damage onto the singular hero that overextended, Sanji. There was not a single wing that could save him from Troll, the guided winds. Nothing. Like, I'm sure they pressed it, but there was too much damage.
Yeah, it's all about the homing missiles. It's going to be running right in the face of the Badang. But do note that he does have the Thunderbelt as well, right? So as the game goes longer, he will get a little bit more hybrid defense to kind of work towards his favor. So we're going to have to work it out and wait and see how that end game is going to look like.
Eugene, look at this. Team Falcons, right? They lost just one hero. They lost Sanji, his first death all game.
Oh, right, that's true.
It led into quite the push. It led into the map turning as blue as it has been for the past 5 minutes.
Just for a while.
Yep, we're approaching the 19-minute mark now, almost crossing TikTok timer threshold, and Sanji's back at it. Oh, look at this, the back line. Lanaya!
I don't think that is going to touch them at all. Lanaya is all the way out the back and no longer have any more shadows for Lanaya to get himself right out of dodge. Dawn will now try to get himself running out of the way. Pops the Vengeance only to be flying up to the sky with that final Requiem. But hey, he's still alive out of all of that. But we do have more damage coming from the side of Team Falcons. They want to do everything that they can while Mikey popped out with the Wind of Nature. So no more of that invulnerability from the physical damage anymore. That Circling Eagle pops on the 2. Puts Cat9 and brings down his immortality. Dawn is gonna be next. With only 3% left from the side of Rare Adam, the crystal is down! With Team Falcons taking game 1!
Did not cross exactly into the 20-minute threshold, but here we go with Team Falcons drawing first blood, taking the first game in the series. It was so close though. There were moments where I could have swore Rare Adam found the formula.
Rare Adam, I think that final fight technically could have went a lot better. I mean, the skilling is already there. It's kind of like a 50-50, but they had all of the inhibitor turrets taken down, so they have a massive mono disadvantage.
I think you're right. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. The fact that they were not just fighting a 5-man coalition from Team Falcons, they were also fighting their own base. Like, they were clogging up holes in a sinking ship, and the captain just had to say, "Ahoy, mateys." Ahoy, mateys, this seems to be an end. And that's where we are now. The first game going over to Falcons. This is match point.
Oh, crap, yeah, you're right. At this point, match point over to the side of Team Falcons. They're slowly inching their way closer over to victory if they do win the second game after all. We do, of course, have got a quick little replay. Neil, talk through this. What are we looking at?
Yeah, this is the first major team fight that led to a snowball by Falcons, but not in the traditional way you would understand it. When you say snowball, you're winning everything, right? You're taking names, you're dropping bodies, but no. The way Team Falcons did it is they were always objective-centric.
Yep.
And I know this team was objective-centric this whole time. It's just now they're a little tighter. Already, I'm seeing a stark difference from when they were playing in the grand finals against Ultra Legends. I'm thinking this is the Coach Ducky effect.
Coach Ducky effect. So at least when it comes down to Coach Ducky, he had his time in Team Falcons PH, and unfortunately they didn't manage to proceed. So now planting himself into Falcons MENA.
Too soon, but yes. I mean, a month's time is enough. I think the fact that Ducky has been working with this squad for quite a while, based on my understanding of the timeline, it seems like a lot of his teachings have already come into play.
I'm definitely looking for how Team Falcons is going to do this, right? We did say that Team Falcons is definitely promising. They are a lot more well-coordinated team, and looking at this game with a little bit of kind of like a semi-Ube kind of thing, they have to play together, and it worked out great.
Again, I'm glad to see that as early as game 1 in all of the wild cards, my predictions paying off. I'd hate for this to be an early onset, disappointment, but no. This is just a cynic in me speaking, but the realist has to expect that Rare Adam can hedge on is the fact that they've been playing with Zetian for months. They
might know something that we don't.
They might have Zetian tricks that we are not aware of. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2, match point for Team Falcons. Again, that would put them at one more game to qualify for the single LM's second stage of the wild card. Rare Adam, they're holding on for dear life. Is this enough of an adjustment to get them there, to force us into game number 3? Looking at the mid, Team Falcons clears first, and this leaves Troll to wait for that Little Wanderer.
Okay, so right off the bat, we already have some very different things going on in the middle lane now, right? With Cat9 assisting in the mid lane, so at least the influence from Rare Adam, we should be able to expect to see that in the top and the bottom lane regardless. But it's still too early to say. They are both currently still at level 2. How they're going to be assisting in the EXP, because it is an Esmeralda going up against a Badang. In terms of these two going in a fist fight, what's that lane priority going to be like?
I'd reckon these two don't care about each other. I reckon like whoever gets out of the lane first, or whoever makes the most of beneficial rotation from our mid trio, that's who gets out. That's who wins it.
Okay.
It has been a while since we've seen an Esmeralda versus Badang matchup happen.
I haven't seen Esmeralda in a long time.
Exactly. Mind you, though, in the Chinese qualifier, we have seen Esmeralda.
Oh, okay.
KLVJ played a lot of Esmeralda. the team that beat Rare Adam then, Jaffa Yaguai. So they know the strength of an Esmeralda. They know how to make this work. It's just, is this the right stage to make it work against this squad?
Yeah, it is a very similar idea to pick up a Uranus, to be very honest. She's pretty annoying. The amount of shields that she can absorb may not be too much. So I kind of question the amount of survivability that the Esmeralda may have here.
Oh, here we go. See, this is one of those rotations that I'm talking about. The fact that they've pushed back Dawn and fight started here by Cat9. forcing Boyet to respond. Lanaya does put out the Mount Chakra already, so aware of the positionings of Team Falcons. Turtle now at half health.
They also know where Troll is at this point in time, but right now we do have the Feathered Airstrike going to be stopped almost immediately. And it doesn't seem like things are going to be working out too great for the side of Rare Adam, with 2% taken down already, just with a quick move up on top, and that is going to be a suplex right down to the Cat 9. 3 kills in favor for Team Falcons.
Ironic, I hate to say it, but Team Falcons, the only reason they'd be upset by that turnout is all the kills went on Troll. Everything else was a win for the home team. Team Falcons walked away with 3 kills, the Turtle, and about a 2,000 gold lead here. Rare Adam, again, XP lane, you don't even need to win that. Mid lane, clear win for the Saudi Arabian squad, but gold lane, what if they take one of my points there and attack Sano even more? We're not seeing that exactly, not in the first 3 minutes.
Honestly, I really like the interaction between Zetian as well as Nafasa. The Fury of the Phoenix, the moment that you find that the Feathered Asteroid is coming in, boom, almost instantaneously stunned. You can
Stop her.
Immediately stop, man.
But that means Powerful should be in range. Powerful should have closed the gap then.
Oh, there we go. Immediately catch on onto Cat 9, and that kill is actually a lot faster than I expected.
Wow.
I thought he's supposed to be a beefy pony.
He did not have the Revitalize, did not drop any of his kit. It was so sudden. I didn't think they expected Troll to be there, nor both Coffin and Sano. It was just one or the other. Maybe Sano went home, Coffin was in mid, elsewhere rotating, but another free kill, a pick-off for Team Falcons. Even top lane ain't safe for Rare Adam.
He didn't even have time to react at all, and that is the scary part, right? Whenever that Troll finds an opportunity to just go straight in, they will bust that 1% down. They don't care if whether it's a Hylos, they don't care if whether it's an Esmeralda. They will jump at every single opportunity that they get. And with that all said and done, they've got 4 kills now. 2,000 goal lead.
Huge for Team Falcons as they continue to rotate. Sanji, making the most of the relative silence down bottom, picks up that Thunder Belt. So even if this does end up being a dead lane duel, he will get stacks. Turtle started up already. Cat 9, the single Vanguard right in front of Rare Adam's lineup. Oh, drops the Gorge pathway.
Priority is going to go over to the side of Team Falcons, but in the meantime, we do have Troll that's just going to be jumping all the way to the back to deal with Lanaya. The fight is going to be broken into 2. Coffin wings by wings away and did manage to pop the Feathered Airstrike. Not enough to bring Dawn down. There is no casualties from either one of these 2 teams.
A clinical approach by Team Falcons. Again, if earlier it was Coffin who played the isolation with the Zushin, here, oh my lord, Boyet dropping the hammer. As I was saying, it was Troll doing the man-to-man isolation play on Lanaya, denying him, even thinking of hitting the retribution on the Turtle. That was beautiful. That happened to the right of your screens, folks, if you would scrub back.
Well, this is not something that I expected from Team Falcons. I mean, Troll having 3 kills to his name at this point in time. And now with the T1 at the bottom lane going to be destroyed, and Cat 9 eats a Tsunami Slam again. Troll goes in, gets himself a little bit of a heal, but Mikey picks up that kill, sees the immunity for a tap bit, but Sano makes sure that he seals the deal, flickers himself forward, takes a kill on the Mikey. Now Powerful have got his back against the wall. He's literally got enemies in the front and the back, allowing Coffin to take 1.
It's all falling apart. Rare Adam giving up so much more this early on.
Dang.
Compared to what they did in Game 1. Game 1 was close up until the very last moment, but here they gave up so much just so Lanaya could push in mid. Now Lanaya coming in the welcoming arms of Dawn. Save me! Sanji's on me! He does survive, but it leads not to much because down bottom there was a push as well. So Rare Adam, they're trading, they're catching up, but I can't say much more about this 4,000 gold lead.
This is a 4,000 gold lead that is going to work for Team Falcons quite a lot. Well, they need to deal with this middle lane T1 in order to get themselves more control of the enemy's jungle. The top lane and the bottom lane T1 is down already, and that's great. With the fact that Yushin went back home for a tad a little bit, they could use that opportunity to push further.
Yeah, shrunk down to 3. That mid lane did buy some time, a little breathing room for Rare Adam. The final Turtle spawning in the lower quarter of the map here. First the scene is Boyet. Dawn dancing around, checking. Cat 9 does have the Glorious Pathway on lock, thinking if he should use it. Lanaya is too far. This is the same spot he got isolated by Troll. Troll catches 1!
And now another one of Tsunami Slam on the Cat 9 again. But it does seem like Glorious Pathway is going to keep him right out of dodge and even popping up the Revitalize. Boyet doesn't have a lot of HP to work with, but it's going to be fine for now.
Caught more than a couple of crossbow bolts for Mikey. But that is all the ult spent by Rare Adam. Is Team Falcons looking for a re-engage? Can they do it?
And now the flicker coming in from Sanji, but it doesn't seem like the wall is just going to be doing too much for coming in from them. But this is all going to be quite a lot from Troll as the title strike lands on the 2, but did not translate to any form of kill. As now the Wings by Wings is coming from Coffin. He did deal a decent amount of damage over to the side of Mikey when it comes to the fact that airstrike, but not enough to kill.
Wow, Rare Adam with the shuffle, leading to 2 free kills plus a turtle of their own. Definitely a power spike here for the Chinese squad. Abstract, it happened right before our eyes. Apparently, all they needed to do was confuse Team Falcons. They made them think that we were going this way.
Yeah.
We're committing to this. Look, all our ults are down. Come on, get us. Apparently, no, they had enough right clicks. They had enough auto attack damage and secondary skills to take down key members of Team Falcons to deny them the turtle. Amazing work. And to add on top of that, the icing on the cake, it was Cat9 who got the turtle.
Oh, wait, really?
It was.
Oh, man.
Oh, Lord.
Not again, as now Don finds himself taken down, coming from a Tsunami Slam. Another one of these pickoffs that Team Falcons is able to bring for themselves.
Twas but a stumble in that turtle pit, but you cannot deny the fact that Team Falcons are still ahead. Execution-wise, damage-wise, where they needed to be, it's easier for them to put it in as Rare Adam now try to recover. Naya is getting quite a bit of farm up, although he is down on the damage dealt rankings, second to the lowest. It's just he's dealing more damage to creeps.
He's dealing more
to farm.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't count that in the damage dealt ranking, so I guess that's what explains that.
We need Lanaya deals the executing damage, while Sheffin, well, for the side of Captain, it's more of, bruising. Just do whatever damage I can.
Yeah, Sheffin's in Indonesia. But he did call the match, the finals between Team Falcons and Ultra Legends. They'll be in action in the group stage. But now, real quick, back into this best of 3, game 2, still at match point. Team Falcons, they are up about 2,000 gold. And you see a good chunk of that still in the hands of Sano. Troll got shut down, so there goes that roamer's dream of being the top killer, top net gainer here in this game. He gets spotted here. That is the
information.
Mountain Shocker, so that's off Lanaya. There's still another one on Pao Fu.
Yes, and that is generally going to be used and reserved just for Cuffin. The moment that they realize that, okay, this is going to be an all-out team fight, I know that Cuffin is going to go in for the feather airstrike, that is when I pop.
All right, the dance here, halted by Rare Adam. Soft reset here. Back to full health for the Lord here if they let go. Oh, look at this position by Mikey. What's he planning?
He's going somewhere. Not necessarily, but he's really safe though.
Eugene, they don't know here.
Oh, never mind. The Purify ensures that he's not going to be locked in by the Tsunami Slam for the side of Troll. As such, this is going to be propelling them into a big team fight. As now the Feathered Airstrike pops. The Fury of the Phoenix is also going to be popped and just going to be stopping Coffin at his tracks. As now Glorious Pathway sets in, pushes Team Falcons away. Rare Adam now have priority over the Lord.
That's a wash. They didn't even need to close the gap on Coffin. The fact that they stopped the ult was enough. And there's a quick knockup by the Lord.
Strike connects down on the Cat9, and Boyad now steals the Lord right under the nose of Rare Adam.
Team Falcons with a swift victory. Cat9 first, and then the Lord. Didn't even matter that Coffin had a scuffed ult there. Team Falcons owning the map, turning it blue swiftly. Look at this. 4K up now.
I thought that with that priority for the side of Rare Adam, that would be the one that helped it.
Oh!
Mikey! Not the way to go down, not the time.
All right, now in game 2, Sano has to share the spotlight with Coffin. Now I'm dealing damage, brother. Look at me, it's my turn now. Ladies and gentlemen, 11-3, 11 minutes in, 5,000 gold in between these two squads. Dawn and Cat9. It's the same story as game 1, man. Like
it's the same thing.
They are just meat.
Same.
They're just meat bags, taking all of the damage up front, and it's just a matter of time before this base is penetrated.
We still have the holy defenses up. Okay, I'll take that back. The top lane no longer has a holy defense up, and the middle lane as well. That's not too bad, considering the fact that it's already 11 minutes and 30 seconds. It would have gone down in 30 seconds anyways.
But again, if you're down like this and you are up against the corner, you'll take any resource, any little bit of help for you to crawl back into this game. So with Team Falcons, they're back. This is a comfortable spot for them. This is where we saw them. in the twilight of game number 1, wherein they're just, all right, we'll just wait for the next Lord. We'll cover up our tracks. We'll take away farm spots for Lanaya, because looking at Lanaya right now, he's doing well, right? You would think, because he's just 400 gold away from Boyet. But folks, you gotta understand, Boyet is a utility jungler. He doesn't care.
He don't need all that gold.
He'll be happy with 6,000 gold, man.
Yeah. But, oh man, Lanaya, I really want to see a little bit more on the pop-off over there. They need, it feels as though they have the damage. I mean, double marksman plus the Zetian. Theoretically speaking, I would like to believe that they have it.
They do, but you know the saying, it's not what you got, it's how you use it. How are they able to use this? Because they are technically mid-range marksmen and mages. They really can't close the gap. That's what I'm saying is, Lanaya, one of his main things, his passive is, I have to weave in and out. But how do I weave in and out if I am in the threat of getting suplexed by this mermaid girl?
Right.
And this Malaysian legend, this icon in Badang. He's Malaysian, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, right.
Don't worry, I'm not going to steal that identity.
All right.
Because at the point, is it Indonesian?
Yeah, of course. So here's the thing now. Add to that, Boyet, the fact that this hero that has been owning the metagame for the better part of 2 years is back in the metagame. Lanaya just couldn't get in there, man. There's nowhere for Lanaya to go in unless he can clean up. Again, you mentioned earlier that he's the one who will put in the finishing touches.
Yes.
But how do you even start? That's the question. How do you start?
Okay, so theoretically speaking, if we want to see a start, it was Cat 9 and Dawn. It just moves in together. The fact that they deal a lot of damage in the total, in the grand scheme of things, kind of makes sense, right? But do they even have enough damage to stop Troll from all those passive healing? That's the question. So this is going to be the one where we get the answer, as the fact that SRG is going to be popped. Lanaya actually manages to get a kill down over to the side of Sanji, so that is one of the frontliners gone. And Lanaya, this is a caster's jinx, man. This is where Lanaya pops in. They take the Lord down away from Team Falcons.
That was bought in for Team Falcons wrong timing. I wouldn't say the plan was wrong or the intent was wrong. It's just that Rare Adam found the very specific gap and the timing, the chance for them to do this. And did this not happen in game 1? Was there not a moment where in Team Falcons, we flubbed it, we slipped on a banana peel? But now, Rare Adam, if I'm reading this correctly, their punish should be stronger. They should have a better way to use this Lord than they could have any other stolen turtle or major objective in game 1.
As long as they're able to bring down all of the T2 turrets, I think that they're probably going to be in a pretty good spot, right? Just kind of equalize the amount of economy throughout the map. They are about 3,000 gold behind, but it doesn't seem that they managed to take down the bottom lane T2, and so is the middle lane.
Yep.
The wave clear is great.
Yep. Team Falcons know exactly what to do here. This is, again, they're very impressive understanding of macro. So Rare Adam now, their conversion rate is a Lord for a top lane at tier 2, and I guess better map control. The map is red, mind you. Now Team Falcons have to play on the defense. Team Falcons understand that they're not the beat down this time, and they have to play for another Lord in a minute and a half.
I don't know. It feels a little bit underwhelming with a 15-minute Lord to only get one turret.
There is some scaling involved, but maybe we're expecting much from Rare Adam. Again, you have to understand that for the first 10 minutes of the game, they had nothing.
They can't do much.
They weren't putting anything out for the first 10 minutes. So now maybe they're just on their way to the up and up, and they're closing the gap, man. They're down, 3,000 gold now, maybe less than that. This next Lord might be as 50-50 as it gets for Rare Adam.
They're coming close to their peak performance, right? Slowly going in with double marksman. As long as they manages to find that window of opportunity, as well as not to be in the kill zone of Coffin and Troll, they will stand a very good chance.
I think that is step 1 in their comeback. If we want to see game 3, I think Rare Adam, more than shutting down Sano, more than stopping Coffin on his ult, they got to watch out for Troll. If they know where Troll is, if they have the same awareness and map consciousness as they did in that pre-Lord fight, the 15-minute mark, then maybe they stop it. Maybe they fight for another day. Maybe they go to game 3. But right now, Troll has a flicker. Troll can forcefully get there.
That's true. Flicker into the title strike, and then the Tsunami Slam is definitely the scary part. So it's kind of tough for both Mikey and Lanaya to show themselves too early, right? They do have ways to open up the the map, give themselves vision. They got Fury of the Phoenix. They also do have the Mountain Shocker, 2 at their disposal, just to make sure that they know exactly where Troll is, just so that they don't lose the damage dealers too early.
So now, timing is on Rare Adam's side. They're waiting for Team Falcons. Team Falcons have to find the positioning. They're the ones working for their time, and they get spotted here. Great use of that range and the kit on Zetian. And, oh man, Team Falcons, they have to send down Coffin to take care of that bottom lane. This is not good. Rare Adam are aware of this. The wave sees Coffin.
Yeah, so the moment that they see him on the map, they are going to gun for it. But can they blitz the slot down? That would be my question, because by this point in time, I think, yeah, they already saw Coffin in the middle lane. They don't have the time, and they decided to take it back.
Troll gets spotted right when he goes for the conceal.
Oh. So now they lost one small angle from Troll. But they can still utilize the flicker.
Okay, they brute force it though. Lord now down to a fifth of its health, an eighth approaching. No more Mountain Shocker. They still do have the ult on the Pao Fu, and there's the Glorious Pathway. Troll and Sano get trapped in. Oh, Lord gets reset here. Evolves.
Not a problem. Cat 9 doesn't have a lot of HP to work with. Pop to revitalize right now, so they want to still hang around here. Well, in the meantime, Rare Adam, they do have a winning lane at the top and the bottom. Okay, the bottom is kind of like a 50-50 still.
My Lord. Team Falcons taking this dance to heart. Rare Adam slowly chunking away at the major objective this time around, down to a 2/5 of its health. Now a 4th. There's the ult. Both of Lanaya. Holding on to it.
Lanaya manages to sidestep away from the flicker coming from the side of Troll, and they will take this opportunity to bring him down as much as possible. And unfortunately, that is not going to be a Tsunami Slam will do anything. Lanaya takes down Boyet as well as the Lord. Rare Adam, they're looking for the opportunity to fight back.
It's all Rare Adam. They take down Boyet and Sano plus the Lord. Team Falcons for the first time in game number 2, 18 and 50 seconds in. That's a full-on loss. Rare Adam, smiles on their faces, huge money in their pockets. They're up by 1,000 now, Abstract.
And that's not going to be all. They managed to force out that Feather Airstrike. Middle lane T2's down. The Lord's going to be marching in. And not too sure whether they will be able to get a Feather Airstrike fast enough for the next upcoming team fight.
They should, looking at the cooldowns. Oh, Dawn gets caught in by a Tsunami Slam.
SRG! Oh, wait, Mikey! There's quite a lot of damage, but not quite enough to be enough to push SRG down. However, that's good enough zoning to take the T3 in the middle.
Oh, permanent damage dealt to Team Falcons base. They have to defend. Lord up top, it's going to jump in. Glorious Pathway dropped by Cat 9 for Coffin to respond. Feather Strike.
There's a T3 down right now. And Rare Adam, they are escorting this Lord slowly in. The bottom side, the bottom lane is also going to be slowly going in now. At this point in time, Team Falcons, they're going to be in a really tough spot. And Fury of the Phoenix is going to be popping right out. Sanji, it doesn't seem like he has a lot of HP to work with, but in the meantime, Praise was right from the side of Boyet. Didn't deal too much, didn't get a lot of HP back, but he's still alive, and that's what it matters.
Woo! Some minions got in range of the base. Team Falcons barely alive, keeping them waves clear. The base took about half health of damage. Team Falcons not giving up much casualties, defending, but just barely. Rare Adam cleaned the house.
Big win. With all of the turrets down, this is a barren wasteland right in the bottom left corner of the map. Team Falcons, now they have a lot of problems. They have a lot of issues. But how exactly can they get themselves right back on track, right? Because Troll definitely did go for the opportunity for the Flicker plus the Tidal Strike combination onto Lanaya.
He didn't. He went halfway and then did not pull the trigger. Because
Right.
look, he still has the Flicker now. I think he held back on the second Tsunami Slam inside the base. So I think Team Falcons, as bad as it is, I think the fact that they're remaining composure is key to them still staying alive here. 21 minutes in, another Lord spawning in the lower quarter. That's key. I think number one, Abstract, is they hold on and play to their plan. Don't go willy-nilly. Don't freestyle this. Because that's how you end up with free pickoff after free pickoff for Rare Adam. Troll here, forcing Mikey out of that brush, put down half health.
I think that this is going to be the deciding fight. Every single one of the members from Team Falcons and Rare Adam has got their battle spells. So it is at any point in time they will be able to go for it. But same always, as long as the T3s are down, you would have disadvantage.
That's right. The map is against you. Team Falcons have to deal with all this. It's taking the clock away from them. The clock is not their friend here because the waves are crashing in. Look at this Mikey pushing forward into the purple side of Team Falcons jungle. I wonder if he knows that Troll has retreated and repositioned. Sano, very close to where Mikey is. Oh man, it's so tough. This is at the point of the game where the Irithel just beats the Granger about 3 out of 5 times.
Just completely outkites the Granger while still dealing a respectable amount of damage. And now Coffin goes for an early feathered airstrike just to push the rest of the members from Rare Adam away. But they already got their HP back, and now Cat9 start things off with a stun over to side of Troll. He's very deep in, but he's not going to care too much. Sanji's just going to be putting himself right into Mikey. Mikey walks away, but a quick little knockup as well as a Tsunami Slam. Immortality is going to be gone. Mikey looks for an opportunity to get out, but unfortunately Coffin manages with a feathered airstrike. The artillery strike lands right on top, but Sano gets himself right back home. He needs to clear the lanes. He needs to clear the baits as much as possible.
Mikey for the Lord. Team Falcons could not commit to that fight full on. They had to send Sano back to clear the waves, which is a respectable game plan. But do note, Mikey did go down post TikTok timers. So he's going to sit down for as long as about a minute, now about 30. Rare Adam, I think they just made the right calls. We didn't have eyes on the Lord pit to know exactly why Boyet didn't get the Lord. There were 2 members of Team Falcons there.
There was just absolute chaos in the Lord's pit. There's too many things going on. Well, in the meantime, we also want to ensure that Mikey is right out of dodge. His positioning at the top side got caught a little bit early by the side of Sanji. Puts himself at a really tough spot as Sanji peels up for the entire fight.
All right, now Lord marching in mid. Rare Adam escorting his major objective. Cat9 drops the glorious pathway. Boyet catching a few beads from Rare Adam of both magic and physical varieties, put down a half health. They do take care of the Lord quick enough, so this puts us where we were about 2 minutes ago.
Back to square 0.
Back to square 2.
Square 1.
I don't know how this metaphor works.
I have no idea as well. Where did that come from?
We're at 24 minutes, folks. At about a minute and change, another Lord spawns in the upper corner. And so far, it looks like Team Falcons have figured out how to isolate Mikey. So it comes down to Mikey using his Purify. Oh my Lord,
they want to brute force this, as now the members coming from the side of Team Falcons, all of them, the Fury of the Phoenix, as now Coffin just going to be putting himself right inside of the base, ensuring that he will be able to artillery strike everyone else. The creeps are moving in, and we do have the core taken down by Rare Adam.
And with that, we're going into game 3. Rare Adam able to work their way into a winning position.
Whoa.
Team of Falcons cross the threshold, the point of no return, where the Irithel were calling out names. Heads were rolling, and it was so tough to come back. Wow! Rare Adam, take us all the way.
The late game is the game after all. Double marksman. And at the early stages, we were just thinking, they won't really have much of a winning chance because they don't really have the tempo. But at least if they are able to kind of feed and work it out with Yin's Machine, then that's a good point and that's a good chance. But they just held it out all the way.
This is long-term storytelling, folks, in the span of 3 games. Amazing work by Rare Adam. Team Falcons, they could have swore they had it under control. Again, they just had, in my opinion, they had a better draft in game 2 than they had in game 1.
Oh.
But I guess their mistakes were so much more punishable, and the openings they allowed for Rare Adam were capitalized even more by the Chinese squad. So that's where we find ourselves now.
This is definitely going to be a tough pill for Team Falcons to swallow. I mean, this is Group A after all. We did mention that Group A is definitely going to be the group of death. And Rare Adam, they're showing up. They are showing us exactly why Group A is the tough one.
The expectations are through the roof, and they did not disappoint. Here we go, one more look at the highlights. A run-through of the game that we just witnessed from the early, which was, again, evident that Team Falcons knew what they were doing. They had a solid game plan. And then, what was that, at the 17, 18-minute mark?
21.
No, like where the turning point for Rare Adam.
Turning point. I think that's
15, 16?
I think it's a little bit more. I think it's 17 is around the right time.
And then nothing left, nothing else for Falcons from there on. They killed Sino, but
yeah. I mean,
they killed Mikey. They killed Mikey, and then nothing else.
This is such a tough game to swallow, definitely, for sure. I mean, this is a very late game-oriented team. I'm not too sure about how the Zetian actually moves in, but having the Fury of the Phoenix is definitely going to be great, especially if everyone is just going to be completely immobile. You saw in the final fight, that is where the amount of stun coming in from Powerful can mean a lot to the entire team.
Oh man, we were seeing play after play, moment after moment of how it was all Team Falcons until suddenly it wasn't. I think this is the Lord that, there you go, was stolen away in a blink of an eye by Lanaya and the rest of Rare Adam, and that's it. There was no turning back.
Troll in that fight played a very big part. If he actually managed to land the title strike into the Tsunami Slam, that would not lead to a win for Rare Adam. But I think that was completely on Lanaya. He dashed real fast and reacted right on time to escape away from Troll.
Eterna, how you liking them apples?
This back and forth happening here, and it's great, right? Because I think coming into this, a lot of people are thinking, all right, with that much experience behind Falcons, with Ducky at the helms as well, this should be a clean 2-0. But I mean, in game number 2, they come back for Rare Adam, and I think the execution from both Lanaya as well as Mikey, I think, was just the cherry on top to game number 2 for me.
Yeah, Lanaya held on. We were wondering, when is the Yu Shin going to do Yu Shin things? Apparently, we were just impatient with it.
Yeah, at this point in time, we were still too used to the previous patch. We just want fights, aggression, just go all the way through. But this is a new patch after all. Games are going to be very dragged out. And this is probably one of the answers, right? 21 minutes game. The previous game is what, 18th?
No, this was 25. Game 2 was 25.
This is 25?
Yeah. Oh. Game 1 was 19, give or take.
That's why I think it was really unfortunate that Falcons really just lost the ball there in game number 1. Because technically, I like that you mentioned it, right? I like their drafts. I think it was much better than game number 1. But I think they were a little bit too passive. Not enough invasions, I think, coming in from them. The execution in the team fights were not as solid. And Rare Adam, unfortunately, with the 2 MM compositions that they had, were able to scale into the late game. And then we saw how much damage Lanaya and Mikey were doing.
Yeah, I think I'll have to echo your sentiments. Maybe Falcons could have done more than just that one avenue of attack, more than just the Troll, you go get someone, and then we'll do the rest. There could have been maybe more. There might have been
like
maybe
a secondary win condition at some point.
Yeah.
Because it feels like they have been playing around Troll the whole time. Pick off.
They could have played their hand a little better. That's what I'm saying.
But man, Sanji for me, still so good. Game number 1, game number 2. I know they lost that second game, but Sanji on the Badang is definitely something that I think Rare Adam would like to consider coming into the next game. But of course, let's once again take a look at the highlights for game number 2 between both of these teams. And maybe we get a little bit more of insight as to what really happened in specific moments of the game. Does anything stand out for you guys?
I think that turning point, that
stolen
Lord.
Second final Lord, right? That was the second final one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By Lanaya.
By Lanaya, yes. I think that is the pivotal point whereby they reclaimed the land of Dawn, and they have got more, right? It's starting to bleed a little bit more red in the map, and from that point on, they're slowly inching in closer and closer and closer.
What did you guys think about the Esmeralda pick? Because the boys in the back, they were like, man, we don't really like this Esmeralda against the Badang in lane. Not really sure the purpose of the Esmeralda, but
it didn't matter in the laning phase. It wasn't a factor there. It was more of a factor to help set up Mikey and Lanaya. That's all it was. So here's one of the few times that you can say the end justified the means. Like, it doesn't matter how I got there, but the fact that Lanaya and Mikey got there.
Yeah. The fact that it worked, I guess that is what it is, right?
So it was okay at the end.
I mean, based on the game, yeah, it seems okay. But personally, I think I would echo their thought, right?
Because they were wondering, why not something like the Charizla? Why not something like the Yuzong even?
Those two couldn't
win lanes.
Yeah, right? Those two couldn't stand into fights as long as an Esmeralda can. She can just keep dancing.
There you go. There you go.
So passive damage, in some sense, passive damage as you keep twirling around the battlefield while still getting yourself shields all the time. It's a little bit different from Uranus, but almost the same concept, right?
Yeah, but she has the initiation. She has
Okay, yeah, that's the good part,
Falling
right?
Star Moon still.
Falling Star Moon still, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a small little immobilize that you can play into your the Fury of the Phoenix as well. So as long as you're able to land the Falling Star Moon, that's kind of the cue for the Zetian to go in with the
By the
ultimate.
way, I mean, talking about that, Zetian finally making her way into the wild cards.
with a dub too.
Did you see the damage charts?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't actually.
She was right below. Was it the
Sano.
Iratel or the Farsa?
Right below Sano?
So
Yeah, behind the two marksmen.
that's an impressive amount of damage, guys. How do you think that Zetian fits into this patch?
I like it. You just need to know what you're getting into, and you need to know how you're using her kit. 'Cause her kit is loaded. I was watching the Hero Spotlight the first time it was going to come to our server, right, to the global server. She has a global ult. She has a stun. She has a nuke. There's literally the only thing that she doesn't have is mobility.
Mobility, yeah. I think that will only be one of the main, the only problem. But at least she does have ways to zone people out with a field, right? And the field, you can move it once. Deals damage, continuous damage, plus slowing people down as well. I think that kind of offers you that mobility in some sense.
And I think her passive is also quite valuable.
Ah, yeah, that's
Despite the cooldown being
120
seconds.
Yeah.
It's a long cooldown, but
It's a little.
It helps against assassins, I guess. That's probably that one moment, your second win.
Hey, maybe it saved them from troll more than once. It's possible.
It's possible. Yeah.
Maybe we
There
wouldn't
it
be
is.
here if not for that.
exactly. So maybe Zetian will finally make her way into the next game. If we have to talk about drafts, did anything feel weird for you guys?
Same for the Esmeralda, no. I think all the heroes were where they needed to be. And even the Hylos, I'll tell you now, even the Hylos was like, oh, here's that Cat 9 thing. It worked. So who are we to say it shouldn't be there?
I mean, at this point, this draft, both teams, I'm pretty okay with that, right? As an ESP player as well, I can see why Uranus and Esmeralda are good in their own regards. They may not necessarily provide a lot of utility to the fight, but it's all those very invisible damage coming from them that you least expected it.
Yeah.
It's really least expected it.
But what would Falcons have to do to be able to take this game into their hands?
I'll play tighter.
Don't
So
lose.
it's completely execution.
Yep. Just play tighter. They had all the tools in game two.
Yeah.
I don't think that was to be debated. It's just play tighter, play better, play faster.
They had all the answers to deal with a beefy frontline, which is the Hylos. The moment that they bring Hylos down in the early to the mid stages of the game, there's really not much the opponents could do. There's not much that Red Adam could do, aside from sending an Esmeralda in. Which, by that point in time, I think it's fair to say that Tsunami Slam would have been off cooldown as well. So you would have that 5v4 advantage already. They could slowly and always translate those kills into a win in the lane or some new objectives.
But it looks like after all is said and done, we are going to have to leave it to the players to figure things out alongside with the coaching staff for sure to see who will be able to take game number 3 in our opening match of the day. So with that, before we head in over to game number 3, we are going to go on a short break. You guys are watching the MSC Wildcards. We'll be right back.
Guys, just trust me, okay? We just have to follow the MSC history footprint.
Is it MSC this year? As in Saudi Arabia?
Yes!
Why are we trekking through the jungle?
MSC started off in the tropics before it started to take over the world.
Yes! Oh, guys! This symbol, it matches the Cuban frequency. I think we're getting close.
You guys hear that? The format is calling me. I can feel it in my gut.
Not your guts.
You just skipped breakfast.
Guys, look!
8 different warriors, all from distant lands. One sacred path.
Oh my, Japan is back!
Oh, 8 teams drawn into 2 groups. GSL format with BO3 matches, but at the end, only 1 team advances.
We have to find the next piece first, because then we get to write the story. Imagine it. Lapels, MSC 2025, Fury Pro Max Plus. Ain't that good?
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
It's okay, I got this. What's that? Great Scott! It's the group stage format!
The MSC 2025 group stages is going to consist of 16 teams broken into 2 groups, each group balanced and regionally diverse.
So all teams will be drawn into 2 seeds, and teams from the same region can't be drawn into the same group.
Groups will then play a BO3 double elimination. Teams with a 2-0 record and teams that survive with a 2-1 record will then advance. 8 teams will then fight for the ultimate glory.
Is this still a group stage or a group elim stage?
Well, it's kind of both.
It's the best of both worlds!
Maybe we're intentionally lost.
Oh, you mean like the time a strong team lost to a weaker team? They claimed it was a strategy to go down to the lower bracket for a more dramatic comeback? Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, look! That seems like a shortcut to the finale!
Perfect! Now we can solidify the format before they even get here. Let's go. Brigida, let me teach you something. When you see something shining, you smash it. I found it! The sacred format ahead of everyone else.
LaFell!
From now on, you can call me LaFell, the great format discoverer.
LaFell! I think you broke the format.
Oh, we can still fix the format. Thank goodness I'm out with you this time. Don't touch anything else, LaFell, no! Let's look at the knockout stage.
The MSC 2025 knockout stage, 2-0 teams will get to choose which 2-1 team they want to face.
Will the 2-0 teams just pick a weaker team for a better matchup?
Or they could just fight a tougher team just to
The
flex.
real question is, which team gets to choose first? Most game wins or shorter game time?
We're gonna have to wait until we get to Riyadh. Until then, let's have a look at the playoff bracket.
Quarterfinals and semis will now be best of 5. Oh, and there's now a best of 5 third place clash before the grand finals.
Final best of 7 to crown the ultimate champion.
There you have it. The MSC 2025 format, wildcards to glory.
Yes!
The home ground heroes once again are looking to find their first match of the day here as we head in back over into the MSC wildcards at EWC 2025. But the big question is, can the challengers in Rare Atom be the team to take them down first? Once again, back on the English broadcast with me, Eterna, as your desk host, alongside with once again Leo as well as Abstract as we get into game numero 3.
Game 3. I didn't expect that. We did kind of talk about the possibilities of 2-0, but it's always going to be a fresh feeling whenever we see teams in wildcards kind of show the unexpected. And Rare Atom, game number 1 was a little bit shaky, but game number 2 definitely showed promise.
Yeah, I was also not expecting the peppering of Spanish there. Just like how we're seeing heroes like Esmeralda, how we're seeing the Hylos in Rome. Like, oh, what is this? This is a Rare Atom. Rare flavor.
I wonder what other surprises that both of these teams have ahead of us, because we are going to take a look at the drafts. It looks like both teams are ready. So, Leo, Abstract, once again, take it away. Take us into game number 3.
Away and into the game we shall. Game number 3. for all of the marbles, for the chance to say we just need one more series to make it to the next stage of the wild cards. Falcons on the play, Rare Adam answering back. There goes the Lancelot, the 1-1. Again, this makes a lot of sense, Abstract, because Falcons, they did it right the first time, so they don't have to change much. But look at this, Rare Adam. They switch it up. Remember, they banned out the Uranus and the Baksha in Game 2, but now they're like, how about we mix it up with the MVPs?
Make them change again.
Yeah, the key picks for Falcons in Game 2 and Game 1, the Matilda, the Kalia.
Yes, so right now, whatever that worked for Falcons, even in a slight tad a little bit, they have to find new ways to play the game against Rare Adam. It's constantly evolving and constantly changing. We're now looking at the final ban over to the side of Falcons.
Maybe the Eastern Shin? They were banned out in Game 1, and that's
Zetian
played well. All right.
Okay.
Too much global presence. They respect it now. Pao Fu, you were too much. I'd say maybe, if not Lanaya, Pao Fu would have been an MVP in Game 2.
I would agree. I would definitely agree.
Yeah.
Big mechanic plays from Lanaya time and time again.
Oh.
In fact, the usage is available, but they have decided to opt for the Baxia.
Okay, you know what? It's Rare Adam on the play.
Yes.
It's Falcons who are answering back. Okay, so the Baksha here, which is again most likely going to be in the hands of Cat 9. That is what we saw in game number 1. Falcons, though, they got 2 picks coming up. I'd reckon the Granger, one of them.
The Granger, I would like to assume that having a Badang in the team is always going to be great. You always want to have a Badang in a very flexible role, roam or XP. So going for that and no, not at all.
All right.
Not at all.
They're willing to trade for it because the Irtel's still out there, so they can do that. Instead, it's the Zushin, answer the Baksha, and the Uranus.
Okay. So it doesn't really quite say anything for now.
Man, I'll tell you now, I don't think Sanji is much of a Uranus. Watching him play the Badang, right? He's a
very engaging. He's the playmaker.
Exactly.
But now he's just
Uranus is a slow roller.
Annoying guy.
Yeah, Uranus is a slow roller.
You can just play your own game kind of thing.
All right, here's the thing. If I know anything about Sanji, he's an engineer.
He's an engineer.
Sanji's a very smart guy. He's
legitimately an engineer.
Yeah, like a real life engineer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he sees how things plot out. He understands things on a very logical way.
Okay.
So maybe there's some logic in this Uranus.
Maybe. We'll see how that is going to go.
Oh my god, double marksman again.
Yes, they are. So Yi Sushin is still going to be the pick for them. I mean, after all, Baxia is a 3-role flex. So one thing's for sure, it's still either going to be XP or roam, but it's fair to decide that it's going to be a roam Baxia, Yi Sushin and Kimi. So Kimi... Okay, so at this point in time, even Kimi can either go mid or gold.
That's right, but 9 out of 10 times he's thrown into mid.
It's mid.
That's
yes.
right. So we still don't know exactly who's facing off against Sano's Granger. That is indeed locked in, so that's not a prediction denied, but a prediction delayed. First phase completed for both sides. Rare Adam waiting for Falcons to ban that first hero in the second phase. I'd reckon this should be like a gold laner maybe. Choke him out? No.
Look, if they are actually going to put Kimi in the mid lane, wouldn't that mean that they have 3 marksmen in the draft?
That's possible, yes.
How would that work?
It's very possible. I think if it's much of a Zask
connoisseur.
Yeah, it's not like I like him, but I don't hate him. It's just now that we put it to hindsight, I'm also curious why. Coach Ryzen, why?
Is it more on the fact that they want to... I mean, when it comes down to Zask versus Jusin, as Eternal mentioned, there's kind of a relationship going on there, right?
This is Zushin's opening relationship. Like, this was her first romance, her first relationship. Back in MWI last year.
Did it end up well?
It was a 50-50 because they really didn't care about each other much. Like, they interacted with the team fight and team dynamics very differently. So I guess here, that difference didn't matter much because the rest of Falcons knew exactly what they were doing.
They are very well coordinated. They have been moving around and putting a lot of influence into the gold and the XP. But I think most notably is the fact that the middle lane was not really accounted for. So the influence that Azask is supposed to bring around the map with the lack of mobility, ultimately I feel crippled the Rare Atom quite a fair bit. Especially since Uranus, which is supposed to proxy lane so that she can be anywhere and everywhere, was stuck in the XP lane too.
We did talk about the Uranus, right? The fact that the Uranus, to have a bigger impact, would really need to win the lane as soon as possible, have a little bit of a lead over to the opposing XP laner to have that impact. But that's also something that we really didn't see. So again, when it comes down to the drafts, I want to see a little bit more balance coming in from Rare Atom. Because
something more purposeful.
Technically, in terms of execution, it looks like they know what they're doing. They know the main purpose and like their winning conditions. It's just they didn't really have the tools available to work with.
Or we're using the tools in the right avenues. Because there was one time when they picked off Sanji. I'm like, whoa, I was surprised how they killed Sanji. Could they replicate this where it actually matters? Because at the time, Falcons were on the base. Like, Sanji dying was a necessary loss at that point. They didn't even blink. Sanji didn't even spend his flick. I was like, sorry guys.
They had a lot of damage at that point in time, right? But as we did mention, it is all inhibitor turrets down. There's too much and too much odds are stacking against them. The time where they had that power up is a tad little bit too late, even though they had a chance in winning in a 5v5 match.
Yeah, Mikey didn't get to flex. Like, Mikey was always at, I have the tools, y'all. Why can't y'all set me up to kill anybody? It comes down to space, too, because, again, this is a full-on dive comp that Rare Atom was playing with.
Yeah.
There's only so much Mikey could do. If a dude gets pulled out by Troll, and the rest of Team Falcons are backing out, what do you do as Mikey on the Irritel? Do you run forward? Do you force it? No, you're going to die.
I do especially like the pick on the Guinevere, actually. We didn't really quite mention too much about the Guinevere pick, especially when we see a Uranus. You know that a Uranus wants to be in your face as much as possible.
More than in your face.
Exactly.
If possible.
So if you don't hit your Violet Requiem, or rather, if you don't hit your Spatial Migration, I think that's fine. You still have a passive to work with, and Uranus is constantly just going to be circling around you. He's afraid of crowd control, so the moment you just go with enough basic attacks, he's definitely flying, no matter what.
That's why the Badang really shined here, I think.
It's a non-starter. It just seems like a non-starter now that we're talking about it.
So what are other things we should be looking at for Rare Atom to maybe look for a comeback in this series?
Crowd control?
Other than drafts, we did mention that already.
Maybe attack the roles that matter. Maybe they didn't.
The roles that matter.
Maybe they didn't hit Sano hard enough in the early game. Y'all remember how they were sending Lanaya, and then they were even sending over Cat9 like twice, tops twice in the laning and the post-laning phase, and then just gave up. It's like, no, she's not dying, guys. Let's just leave him here. Like, maybe they should have kept trying because Sano really was just the guy. He was Falcon's one claw. Everyone else could not deal the same damage Sano was.
Aside from that, I think that there's also the fact that we didn't manage to see too much from Powerful, at least in the laning phase.
I think this is a byproduct of him being on the Zask.
I mean, yeah.
It's an egg and the chicken, man. It's like
egg and the chicken, which one come first?
Yeah, like how
the Zask?
Yeah, I have a problem here, but I don't have a solution. I end up with another problem. It's just, that's the thing that Rare Atom's dealing with. I hate to say it, but there seems to be a grocery list of things for them to do.
So I'm wondering whether or not it's because of what we mentioned, the Jushin and the Zaz interaction, or it's just one of his comfort heroes. We'll see whether or not he explores it, because it looks like the drafts for game number 2 is ready. And man, I want to see some changes. Maybe finally look for someone like the Farsa, maybe perhaps more powerful. Someone with a little bit more impact in the game, or the Yves. But there it is, the drafts. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Will Falcons be able to go 2-0, or can Rare Atom have a different say in this upcoming game? We're going to throw it over to Leo and Abstract to lead us into it.
Much gratitude, Eterna.
Thank you.
Leo and Abstract taking care of business here. Game number 2 here. Match point for Team Falcons, the home team. Here's a start. Eugene, here's a start. What about a side swap?
Side swap and
let him react.
yeah. So now Falcons is going to be on first pick, first ban. Rare Adam on second pick, second ban. Rare Adam started with that Uranus and the Baxia pick, both of which were the ones that they managed to get when they were first pick, first ban.
And now suddenly,
it's all gone.
What a change of pace here. They banned both heroes. All this while, Falcons still sticking to their guns, banning out the Lancelot, but now banning out the 1-1 and the Arlott, another big breakout hero in the current metagame. One more ban for Coach Ryzan and Rare Adam. A lot of open picks, by the way. You mentioned the Farsa, Kalia still out there, Zutian is still out there.
There's a lot.
Especially with the 2 picks, man.
We do want to see a little bit of that artillery mage going on, right? But we still have quite a lot of the other roles that we gotta fill out. With the final ban being that Matilda, they have decided, and this is not a hero that we want to deal with at all.
Okay, I think Falcons, they could go Chip. They could go. I don't think you chip this early. They could go Kalia. She
Maybe
is open.
Second phase. Oh yeah, Kalia.
Yeah,
always gonna be a great pick-off.
Or the Farsa this early. Like I think that's worth it.
First pick Farsa?
Yeah, take it away from Pao Fu, because again, they turned him into a non-factor game 1.
Right.
By forcing him on the Zas.
Yes.
Why don't you do it again? See what happens. See if that works. They have the leeway. Oh, no. Okay, we stick to
Okay,
right.
we're gonna stick to the gun, right?
Yeah,
we're gonna keep at it with the Kalia. So Yisun Shin. Okay. So this is my question, right? Whenever the opponents actually pick up a Yisun Shin, do you want to kind of go eye for an eye, 2 for a 2, vision for a vision by picking up Zetian?
I don't think it's on the Yisun Shin. Given that my opinion, my take on this isn't as informed, because again, both heroes are new elements in the current metagame, right?
Yes.
1.9.92, they have both currently been unlocked, because again, there was almost a rework for Yisun Shin, but Zetian, she's a brand new hero. Instead, oh my lord, Eterna's little tidbit about Cat 9 showing itself once more. I am about 90% sure that this is a Rome Hylos.
I would have assumed that it would be a Rome Hylos.
Because Don can play almost anything.
All right.
Don has a really deep hero pool. He plays Benedetta, man. I don't think you throw a Hylos on a hero on a player like that.
True. You wouldn't want to put Don on to just a soaking guy. Especially if he can make the plays, he can do the big stuff. But speaking of the Farsa that we wanted to talk about, it will be taken away by Falcons. So that is the Granger and the Farsa. So great range going on. The Zetian even for the side of Rare Adam.
That is a lot of artillery and so much early game initiation from Falcons. But Rare Adam, they double down. They are more than just global, they're international. There's 2. There's 2 global ults they're playing with, man.
No matter where you go, we have our eyes on you.
Okay, I don't know how to feel about this, because even with these 2 strong picks, right? 2 new meta heroes, plus possibly a comfort for Cat 9, I think we're leaning back on old issues here. This is a lot of tools and a lot of resources that even I don't know how to use right now with 3 picks in. Like there's a whole lot of I don't know going on.
So at least we have that one frontliner. We have the Yisun Shin that can snowball, or rather have pretty good tempo.
Stable farming pattern.
So wouldn't that mean that Falcons will want to break that consistency out of Yisun Shin at all?
Eugene, you're right. With these 3 alone, they can. With these 3 alone, they can. As soon as Sano is unlocked from the gold lane when he builds his 3rd item or 2nd item even, and Troll go in hunting, these 3 can already ruin Zetian.
This is going to be a pretty scary start, right? Right off the bat, Falcons have already showed their cards. This is how we're going to play. We're just going to kind of look around for ways to further amplify our early game aggressiveness, as well as just general raiding the opponent's jungles.
Yep. Coach Ryzan, speaking about the jungle, blocks out a couple of picks here away from Boyet, locks in that Irithel to go toe-to-toe against Sano's Granger. Total MVP, by the way, I'd say, from game number 1. While Coach Ducky blocks out EXP lane choices, I think he's also convinced that this is going to be Cat 9's Hylos going into the Land of Dawn. Falcons, though, they need a jungler. What does Boyet pick up and what does Sanji pick up? I'm thinking 2 frontliners again.
2 frontliners, yes, I would agree as well. They already have the. I sort of forgot her name again.
The Farsa?
No.
The Kalia?
Kalia, yes.
Yeah, so still 2 frontliners, I'd reckon.
2 frontliners.
Because you already have they were okay with Sano just being the one damage source, right?
Yes.
What now with Coffin dealing damage too? All the more they're comfortable, so why not just more frontliners?
At this point, with the fact that they have the Granger and... Okay, there we go. The fact that they already have the Granger and the Farsa, they are not lacking anything in the damage department.
Nope.
They have early game, mid game, late game damage. So at this point, just drag on the fight. You have any form of crowd control, utility, utilize them.
They got it on lock is what they're doing here. Rare Adam though, what do we see in the EXP lane? What does Don, the fresh Indonesian import, bring? Don here, a veteran of MPLID, MDLID, been around the world to play for this Chinese franchise, and it's an Esmeralda. Okay, so stealing shields from the Badang.
Okay.
Stealing shields from the Fred. I hate to say it, Eugene, but it's very similar to game one.
Very similar. You have a form of initiation when it comes down to the Falling Star Moon. You have great ways to slow opponents down with
the Glorious
Pathway. You have good ways to engage, but do you have enough to deal with Team Falcons? Because they have a very tanky front lines. They have a lot of crowd control going on for you. So even if the Hylos goes in to kind of soak everything up, can he even survive all of this ordeal, provided that he's just going to be targeted time and time again?
Okay, one of the main things that if you're greedy enough and you know
it's very greedy,
you can stretch it enough to the point wherein you know your opponents won't force anything onto you, and you can survive to like the 18-19 minute mark, like we saw in game 2. You're fine. You're gonna get away with it.
But they will need power spikes in the early and the mid game.
But this is a good read. Look, Falcons, they ban out the Esmeralda. They ban out one of the few heroes that can actually stand up to the Uranus.
Fair, yes.
By being just as sustainable. I'd say that's one of the key ways you can get away with a 3 marksman lineup.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So if Esmeralda is taken out, what are our other candidates? Like Hylos?
Sure, if Dawn is feeling it. But here's the thing. Dawn likes to live in your face, right?
Yes.
The Hylos, there's times when you don't want to live in your opponent's face.
Indeed.
But if that's a last choice for you to get away with a 3 marksman lineup, then so be it. Look, here's one I would say, the glue. They're reading into it.
Damn, okay.
Coach Ducky, Falcons, they know that Dawn is the key here. He's the linchpin to the 3 marksman lineup working.
Okay, so there is no Mathilda for Ryan to play around, so even if they want to be very aggressive, they don't have a way to get out.
Ain't no saves, sir.
Ain't no saves. So if they do want to pick up an XP laner, it needs to be someone that is that's flexible enough to engage and disengage at the same time, probably.
Yep. I don't think
that there's anyone that can do that at this point.
Arlot's still out there, but I don't think that's the right answer.
Yeah. They need someone beefy, someone tanky. Someone to really do the work.
They can throw the box over there and then pick someone else to go into Rome.
How about an enchanter support at this point?
Oh, I have seen that work, yes. I have seen Kimmy Granger fortified by an Estes. That is a thing.
If they can't win in the early, if they can't win in the mid stages of the game, then Estes can just heal them all up.
Oh my lord. Eugene, it happened. Triple marksman confirmed for Rare Adam. There's the Moskov.
So what's the final?
Shit in the Kimmy. One more.
The final piece of the puzzle.
Who's going to the XP? Because we see Falcons picked up the Hilda here, which is what? Excuse me? A Rome Hilda?
XP. Oh, wait.
When was the last time we saw a Rome Hilda?
Okay. Hear me out. I don't like this, but a Uranus jungle and an XP Hilda might be the way that they're gonna go for it.
All right.
But Lapu Lapu.
Oh, nice one, baby. In Riyadh. There's the Angela. Okay. So mid at.
Oh my God! It actually gonna be the way.
Okay.
So the enchanter support goes up to the side of Falcons instead.
No. Is that a jungle Uranus, sir?
Yes, jungle Uranus. Right?
Okay, I'll do you one better. Triple marksman. Say no more.
That's the answer.
Is it though?
I mean,
it is. They're still gonna shuffle this up. It's still gonna change up.
It will change up. Yeah.
So it's a jungle Uranus, Rome Angela, XP Hilda.
So the XP Hilda will be a pain in the butt for the Lapu Lapu. It's definitely going to be a lane prio for the Hilda, but how exactly are they going to keep up with the Radiant stacks?
And here's the thing, it's all in on Sano again.
Oh, not him again.
Saudi Gold going for the home run to
But it
close
worked
up
in
the
game one.
series.
Yeah.
Just like in game one, exactly. Here we go with a triple marksman setup by Rare Adam, all for the one win. Halfway through to make it to the next stage of the wild cards. Welcome to game 3. Rare Adam, they definitely have the momentum.
In most situations, looking at the triple marksman, you know that this is absurd. But in this wildcard, technically it's not, because theoretically speaking, it makes sense for them in their own respective lanes.
Absurd is the name of the game here. Very few times will I say, I actually like the triple marksman lineup.
No way.
Then the jungle Uranus, it's here, boy. What are you thinking? Oh, they're on Sanji.
They're on Sanji.
3 members, quick rotation. Up top, let's talk about this gold lane matchup. Mikey versus Sano. There's not much on Sano, to be honest. I mean, rather, there's not much on Mikey. Sano, though. Sano has to understand that I am the future of this lineup.
He quite literally have the range to kind of deal with the mask off. As long as they're able to win in the gold lane and try to get him to pop off, I think that they are definitely going to be fine. But I think that Team Falcons, they are on a timer.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to be on timer. And by 15...
It's over. Like, you have to have won by then. Look at this, folks. If you're going to be playing Jungle Uranus, result of this match pending, you're going to want to look at Boyet's build here. That is the common emblem, extra health, seasoned hunter, and then impure rage. Like,
okay.
This is, I heard that it's been making rounds on socials. Like this
specific emblem set.
This abomination.
Not only you hate it, I know that Gideon absolutely hates the Uranus as well.
Hey, don't hate it till you don't knock it till try it, bro. Coffin forced to use a flicker, saving himself from a roaming duo from Rare Adam. Dawn holding it down, and Boyet starting up the turtle early.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know exactly how Rare Adam is going to play for this turtle, but as we see, we do have Powerful actually managed to get himself the turtle at this point, and we do have Coffin that has got a hard gun on himself, but it doesn't seem like that will be allowing him to get away as Powerful takes first blood.
Team Falcons, they just had no damage there. It was a play for self-conservation. Like, they just wanted to lose less. But isn't that an oxymoron? Isn't that a paradox, Eugene, that they want to win by a certain point, but just the same, they can't do anything up to a certain point?
This is kind of scary. That means that Team Falcons only have a very tight little window at the mid stages of the game.
Exactly. This is some Kimi no Nawa level stuff here. That we will only meet up to this point. After this, we are gone forever. Like, we will never cross paths. What is this?
Oh boy, this is gonna be tough, and especially if Rare Adam is able to take the early game by the landslide. This is going to further accelerate their growth, and Team Falcons may even not be able to meet that power spike to go 50-50 against Rare Adam.
The window might close even tighter.
Yeah, to the point that it might even be non-existent.
That's tough. Team Falcons waiting for this next Lord to spawn, next Turtle to spawn, upper quarter. It's going to be closer to Sano. They sent Troll over to babysit him. This is so antithetical to even their style.
But to be honest, right, we know that Angela is known as the first blood queen, right? Crazy in the middle lane. As long as you're able to kind of get the puppet string tethered in, you more or less get a kill. And not to forget, you also have a Hilda who is super beefy in lane. No matter how much you touch him, it's not gonna matter for him because he's going to get himself right out of the fight as long as he's just gonna weave in and out of the brushes. But I say a little bit wrong now as Dodd picks up a kill onto the Hilda. It's gonna be an all-out fight coming in for the side of Rare Adam. He's just going to be engaging himself onto the Team Falcons, and Lanaya picks up a kill. He's almost going down, but he gets himself away. Dawn picks up a double. Oh boy!
There's a good amount of nothing Team Falcons did to Rare Adam. You see the intent. You see what they were going for. We are going to last into these team fights a good 10-20 seconds, get stacks on you via Ionic Edge, and then maybe Troll throwing out these love waves should be enough. But from downtown.
It actually hit.
All the way, but underneath tier 2, I want to take that even if I was ahead. Which they are. They're ahead. They're about up 2,500 gold. They start up the turtle, but it's odd. Team Falcons, they still want to contest this.
Rare Adam, they're not afraid of anything, and right now the triple marksman is working even in the early stages of the game. Well, in the meantime, Cat9 rolled up over to the side of Sano. They did manage to find a nice stun over to the side of Boyet. He's tanking a lot. He's got a lot of radiant stacks. He won't go down that easily. Or will he? As Dawn is just going to be putting himself right into the face of Coffin, he's just going to be finding himself in a pretty tight spot. But he's going to be fine. Sano, though, burning a tad bit, but he's walking back home fine.
5 minutes into the game, 2 turtles in, 5 kills scored. Still nothing on the board for Team Falcons. They are reeling. Eugene, there is Greedy, there is Triple Marksman, and then there's Jungle Uranus.
Which one is Greedy here?
Oh, no, I mean both of them. Both of them, but... Oh, man, I get it, right? You see what they were going for. You see the flight path. It's just...
Yes.
At this point, 5 minutes in, they haven't even taken off, man. They've been taxiing, and they've been, teasing their passengers. All right, all Team Falcons, we're about to take them. No, they're not taking off. They're trapped inside their own base, their own side of the map. Look, Sano has been pushed into the tier 2.
I mean, to give credit for Team Falcons, at least I would say that a Uranus in the laning phase doesn't realistically be able to do too much, right? He can clear waves, or rather clear creep waves fast enough, but he would only be a lot more annoying in the mid stages of the game. But for now, he can't survive against Dawn and Lanaya combo, even with a hard guard.
To be fair, the hard guard did come in maybe a second too late, but I can't blame Troll because he's also not getting farm.
Not at all.
His shield isn't growing. The extra stats you get from items aren't benefiting Team Falcons. So there's no one to blame here. It really is just the mechanics, the logic, and the kits don't add up for you to answer what Rare Adam is doing.
We are already... Oh my goodness gracious. There's no brushes around for Sanji to play around with, so he gotta have to go home. We're looking at a 6,000 gold lead in favor of Rare Adam, and the turtle spawns at the bottom lane. At this point in time, I'll say skip the turtle, man. Just get the Lord. Actually, they don't need to. They have triple marks, man. Yeah. What am I talking about?
Here's the thing. Rare Adam can afford to make either choice.
Yeah, they don't need to
They
care.
are that ahead. 6,000 gold is arguably the largest lead we've seen in this series this early on. 7 minutes in. Boyan is still contesting.
And here's a fighting chance, maybe? I don't know. As Sanji now finds himself melted down in the heat of the fight. Dawn is just going to be getting himself as the greatest warriors. Just going to be making his way in over to the side of Boyan. He doesn't have a lot of HP to work with. Mikey! He is just going to be relentless, throwing all those spears over to Team Falcons.
3 turtles, 8 kills, 7,000 gold between these 2 squads. Do you know the definition of the word insanity?
This.
They just keep forcing it, and I don't know what they're looking for.
Oh, wait! Dawn! How is he alive out of all of that? Team Falcons did whatever that they could, even pulled him underneath the Tara's nose.
Rare Adam are pushing tier 2s. Team Falcons are still building up.
At 8 minutes.
At 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Here's the thing. At least
The
Boyan
Uranus don't have Oracle.
At least Boyet ain't giving up. At least Boyet is still saying, yeah, guys, we can fight this. We can be here to contest. But he is how many levels down? 2 levels down. Oracle on the way.
On the way, but it's... Oh, man.
Oracle on the way, but...
Only when he gets an Oracle. Only when he gets Oracle, he can do something.
Maybe. All right.
I mean, if the goal lead is huge, then no. Because we're looking at, what? Close to 9,000.
Yep.
Oh,
looking at 9K between these 2 squads.
Oh, dang.
Team Falcons are pulling another Saudi Arabian Ube, but not like it's their choice. They are clumping up because it's the only thing they can do.
Yes.
Coffin coming in.
What? The Crimson Beacon plus a hot gun on the Coffin. They have decided to put everything on the Coffin instead. It's just going to be holding himself right at the back to hope that an Atlanta player will be able to do something. As now Cat 9 being patted down, killed by Troll. And perhaps they will be able to move on forward a little bit more. As just an XP for Rome trade.
That's their first kill. A milestone in this game. And it took 9 minutes. Okay, maybe... It ain't over till it's over.
It's not over till it's over, yes.
There will be a point in time where, yes...
Boy, starts to get a lot of kills in one team fight kind of thing, and then boom, Oracle, boom this, boom that.
And this window, yes, it's shrinking, but it's still there.
It's still there.
This window exists, and I did say about 15, 16 minutes, Team Falcons should be steamrolling, but maybe closer to that is when they start building back up. Oh, Dawn versus 3. Look at the back, Boyet.
He's continuing up to the fight. He's still trying to get himself a little bit of spellvamp going on. It even will go down to the flicker. But now Rare Adam, they are just going to be chasing it right up over to the side of Team Falcons. Troll is going to be the next one down for the count. With 3 men down already, Sanji is looking to be not too healthy, but he's back home.
All right. I was trying to be an optimist, but I forgot. This is a 3 marksman lineup. While you're playing for this window, while you're playing for this opportunity to absorb damage and then throw it back out while healing, your opponents are free hitting. Your opponents are literally right-clicking on your face. The basic attacking.
The problem is Rare Adam is actually on track, right? In order to win in the early game and to really snowball the game, you want 1,000 gold per minute kind of thing. But what is this crazy amount of damage dishing out over to the side of Team Falcons? Sano and Boyet, they found themselves right at the brink of death, even in their own confines of their homes. And now, good stun landed onto Sanji. Not gonna be enough to bring him down just yet.
There ain't no bushes here, Sanji. This is tough. This is miserable as a Hilda.
Oh, man.
You're running around. You're sprinting in your own base. You're no better than the other XP laners that don't have sustain, because you don't have sustain when there's no bushes. They are going to be taking care of this Lord here, but I'm looking at their wave play. I'm looking at their comp. This is what I would give a 1 out of 5, a 2 out of 5. Their mid laner doesn't have the main nukes. Oh no, here they come!
Oh, Dawn, right in the heat of the battle. Well, Powerful picked up a kill on the Boyet. That is the only front, okay, no, second only front liner left. Sanji is still here though, but at this point in time, with the amount of marksmen coming from the side of Rare Adam, even Sanji will not be able to hold a candle, as now he's just going to be sacrificing himself all the way to the front of the stage. While Team Falcons, they are hoping that they will be able to stop Rare Adam, but Rare Adam takes the series.
A reverse sweep by the Chinese squad, taking game number 3 in an admittedly odd fashion. Both teams, they roll the dice and say, all right, triple marksman, okay, I see what you're doing. We'll do you one better. Uranus jungle, nice one, baby, with an Angela. There's a universe where this works.
You know the irony? This is a marksman game. They want to play late game, but this is the fastest game yet.
Yeah, there's a universe where this works, Eugene. There's a universe where Falcons wins, but not against triple marksman. Not where your opponents expect for you to do nothing in the early, and that's exactly what you did.
I can't wrap my head around this. No, in normal situations, we see triple marksman, we say they are greedy, they're not winning early, they're not winning mid.
It's literally just the perfect storm here. The triple marksman just wanted a lineup that wasn't going to get in their face early on, that wasn't going to assassinate him, and this is what that was, a Uranus jungle Angela. Again, this isn't something that they did for the first time. I would like to believe that they scrimmed with this, that they prepared for this.
They knew what they're getting themselves into.
It bumped into the wrong lineup.
Maybe not against the triple marksman lineup.
Yes. Let's throw in our lovely desk host here. Were you watching that? Did you see what we just witnessed? Were you watching the same game?
Yes. I was there, and man, I didn't expect this, but let's go, Rare Adam. I mean, it took them a while to get their, feet rolling, but finally in game number 3, we saw just everyone really pop off. And I like that you mentioned about, the drafts coming in from Team Falcons. They played a gamble, but unfortunately it didn't work out for them. And the Angela pick into the Baxia early game wasn't the brightest of choices. And not to mention, if we had to really nitpick into Team Falcons and how they were able to, utilize their Angela in the early game, really interesting targeting from the Heart Guard, I gotta say.
Yeah, about 80% it was on Coffin.
Exactly.
80% was on Coffin, but I'd like to think Coffin was the right target because he was very aggressive. He was the one Crimson Beaconing forward.
Yep.
He was trying to get kills on Dawn, on Cat9, getting the punish.
He had a Heart Guard as well. So they were banking everything on the Coffin, hopefully that they have a good amount of control. But unfortunately, they just couldn't do it.
That's the one thing they did not have, Eugene. Control.
Oh,
that's tough.
Man.
It's tough. Again, you're talking about how the draft unfolded before our eyes, right? It's like a roller coaster wherein your stomach falls, right? Your stomach falls, and it never goes back. It's like, oh no, they're doing it. Uranus jungle.
What a way to
jungle.
open this, though.
Hey, you mentioned this last night. We were studying, we were prepping. Like, all right, guys, before we wrap up, real story, folks.
Yeah, this is real.
Before we went to bed, Eugene was like, wait, what
let's talk Uranus jungle. What exactly did Gideon say again? I don't think that works.
In theory, it can work, right? Uranus War Axe increases the magic damage from the basic attack. So
there's
because of the passive.
There was a purpose. It's just a tick.
I would have much appreciated Oracle first item.
Instead
That
of
will-
photo.
Instead of, no, not photo. He went for brute force.
Oh, instead of brute force.
Yes, instead of brute force. Oracle just outright allows him to play a lot more aggressive in the early
You know
game.
what? I would prefer that they didn't choose it against Abaxia.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? Fair.
Or a triple marksman.
Yeah.
Because
Or
All
a triple
triple
marksman
marksman,
at
yeah.
the end. So it unfolded really unfortunately, I think, from the home ground heroes here. I think that was the whole, story that we were trying to set up, with them having more experience coming into this match, with them having, the home crowd advantage. But Rare Atom, challengers, less experience, so many questions about, communication, their synergy. They made it. They did it. So it's pretty crazy. Already an amazing way to open things up, but let's take a little nostalgia road down to that entire series. Let's take a look at the highlights for game number 3 between these two teams.
as much as I'd like to look back, I'd rather not. Because again, it's a lot of Rare Atom doing everything.
Yeah.
And, okay, to be fair, Team Falcons trying. At least they just roll over and take it, right?
Yes.
They were like, all right, boy, go get him.
Try.
Put Radiant stacks on yourself, and then Coffin, go for. But it always just ended up going to almost.
Yes.
It's just always almost.
You can see that they did definitely employ different tactics throughout the game. They normally would have, Sanji rushing right in or Boyet just kind of hanging around. But on the final fight, they have decided, you know what? We need control of the fight. We need to use the Lantern Flare, and we need to use the Coffin's ultimate aggressively. So put him in more shields, and we hope that we'll be able to get everyone flying up into the air,
Yeah.
and then we'll roll over from there.